Lakshman, can I ask you?
Fine. So today we are going to start with the accounts payable application, AP. So to start with the payables, first we have to complete basic configuration in the system. Say Oracle Fusion accounts payable basic setups. First we need to complete. So basic setups. After completing the basic setups, we can start working on the payables application. And certain concepts required additional configuration also, we'll see. So when I talk about basic setups, the very first setup from payables side is common options. Take the point as configure common options for payables under procurement. Configure common options for payables under procurement. So primarily this setup is belongs to payables. Also, it can be used for procurement side also. There are few accounts, few data points. So primarily it is for payables. Also, it can be used for procurement. It is a common setup. It is required. If you are implementing purchasing application, this setup is required. If you are implementing payables, yes, it is required. It's a common setup. That is the reason they given name as common options. So by using this setup, what we are going to do? Primarily, we are going to provide few key accounts which are required in the payables application. So you are going to create invoice in the payables. System has to take some accounts where you have to provide those accounts. Within this common options, you can provide those accounts. Few accounts are mandatory, few accounts are optional. The optional accounts will use based on the business case, and few mandatory accounts at any cost you have to provide. You may deal with that scenario, may not deal, but ideally you have to provide those accounts. Okay. We'll go and review this common configuration. Why we are calling as a reviewing? Because this setup is already completed by system as a part of rapid implementation. When we load the setups with a rapid implementation, if you use one business unit, system can complete these setups. Okay, system can complete this setup. So we'll go and review. Okay, the very first setup is common options for payables. If you are going to implement payables, first we have to configure common options for payables and procurement. Go to instance, go to our implementation project. Open the project, search for common options. Here is the task. Manage common options for payables and procurement. Okay. Manage common options for payables and procurement. Click on this task. Now click on go to task icon. Same task. Manage common options for payables and procurement. Click on go to task icon. The common option setup is BU specific setup. If you have a 10 BUs, for 10 BUs, we have to set common options. Okay, common options. By using these common options, we are going to do the mapping between our balance and segment values and the business units. For BU1, which balance and segment value. For BU2, which balance and segment value you want to use, that mapping also you can establish. That we are going to see in the common options now. So click on go to task icon. Now we have to select our business unit. We want to set common options for which business unit that we have to select. Select and add. Okay. So business unit we have to select, pick the value as a select and add. Click on apply and go to task to select our business unit. For which business unit we want to set the common options? For which business unit we want to set the common options? Find that business unit here. Okay, find that business unit. Alt I and C, search. So don't click on the name. It will open the business unit definition. Just select the record. Find the BU, select our BU record and scroll it till down and click on save and close. Save and close. So for our business unit, already system completed common options. Here you can notice system taken liability account, prepayment account, discount taken account, conversion rate variance gain, conversion rate variance loss accounts. These accounts it taken and realized gain and realized loss accounts also taken. Okay, these are the mandatory accounts. What are the mandatory accounts? System already derived. There are few accounts like bills payable and other accounts. So these accounts we have to select as per the concept. How we taken all these accounts? Liability account. Click on search. Taken account as a accounts payable and remaining from all the segments is picking the first values. Okay, from here it is picking the first value, from everywhere it is picking the first value. How it is picking this? Retained earnings account we have seen. There is extended tagging as a retained earnings. That's our system derived that account to create the ledger options, to create retained earnings account code combination. And rest of segment values, it's selected as a first value. For intercompany, it will always pick company value as intercompany. That's how we will pick. If you want to change, you can change, or else you can keep as is. There is no issue with that. So this is how it will pick. Okay. So it picked and it took. How it took accounts payable account for liability. If you go to our rapid implementation sheet, okay, we go to our rapid implementation sheet, there you can find the extended tagging is available. Go to natural accounts. What is the account? 21010 is the accounts payable account. Okay, 21010. So account type is liability, but extended tagging is accounts payable. This additional tagging will be useful for system to take that account into this field, liability account field. In the same way, prepayment. What is a prepayment account? 15015. Search. Prepayments. Asset prepayment account type is asset and extended tagging is prepayment. Because of that, if you set like this, just asset, it won't pick this account and it cannot complete this common option setup also. If even one account is missing, it cannot complete. You have to enter through manual process. Okay, you have to enter through manual process. So because here extended tagging is there, that is easy to select. You just look at discount taken account. Check. So any account available in the common options, it is taking just because of extended tagging, which is available in our rapid implementation sheet. That is only the point. Okay, based on this extended tagging only, system is taking the code combination. This is the point you have to understand. For remaining accounts also, whatever the accounts you see, all it is taking from here. If you load multiple business units, system is not going to take all this. You have to provide all this. For Alt INC US business unit, which is the right balance and segment value you have to select. Now system is selecting 1000. If 1000 is okay for a practice purpose, okay. Reality, you Generally, you don't load only one BU. You load multiple BUs, and we have to set up this through manual process. Okay, you have to come here. We use Alt INC. Alt INC means which balance and segment value. You have to select it. So Alt INC means this is a balance and segment value. Select. Then remaining all the values you can give defaults. Only ideally in the common options we provide company value and account value. Remaining all you can set as a defaults only. We don't need to give so and so cost center, so and so, etc. etc. Yeah. Company and account. Provide proper values. Company, which is the company for this business unit, which is the balance and segment value for this BU that you have to select, and select appropriate account based on the field where you are entering the data. So this is how we have to set. Since we loaded only one BU, system defaulted all these accounts. If you are loading more than one BU, you have to enter all these accounts. Just have a look. Okay. When we are creating the transaction, we'll discuss more detail level, because when we create the transactions only, we use this liability prepayment and all. When you create from where it is deriving, all those points we'll discuss. Now, as of now, you don't need to do anything here. System is filling. If you are entering, creating the business unit through manual process, or if you are creating multiple business units at a time, you have to enter these all accounts, primarily balance and segment as per business unit and relevant account. So this is how just we have to provide the data within the common options. If you are loading through rapid implementation, system will take care, but have a look. But nothing we are setting as of now. When we are working on the payables, depending on the concept or setup or process, we'll revisit this page or any other setups also. Accordingly, we can set the data. We'll see that. Just make a note. Okay, what we are able to see in the common options, certain default accounts. Okay, the common options we are setting at BU level, and we are setting certain default accounts which are required when you create the transaction. This is what we have to understand about common options. Another point. Say for example, you are going to create one payment term. You have a 10 BUs. Let me take few BUs. So you have a BU1, BU2, BU3. You have three business units. And you are creating one payment term called as net 45. So you purchased something from supplier. Supplier given the payment term. Supplier is giving 45 days credit time. You can pay after 45 days. So that you can set up in the system by using the concept called as payment term. With the payment terms, you can calculate the due dates and discount. Okay. With the help of payment terms, you can calculate the due date and the discount. The payment terms, you can calculate the due date and discount. Now, this payment term we require only in this business unit. Then you have to assign this payment term to this business unit. We cannot assign this payment term to business unit directly by using the concept called as, at the time of business unit creation, we have seen one field called as a set, default set. What do you mean by set? We discussed. Set means, anyone please?
Common set like
No. The values. Wherever you see the term called as set, that there is some name for it. What is
common set.
Exactly. Somebody answered reference data set. See, common is we selected value. I'm not talking about. If you see default set means set is nothing but reference data set. Reference data set. So if you want to assign payment term to business unit with the help of reference data set only, we can assign. Now, if you want to assign this payment term to this business unit, create one reference data set. Say RDS1. Now assign this payment term to reference data set. Okay, you have to assign the payment term to reference data set. Now, this RDS can have access to net 45 payment term. So which BU need access to this payment term? BU1. Now assign reference data set 1 to BU1. Now BU1 can have access to net 45 payment term with the help of this reference data set. Now BU3 also need access to same payment term. Yes, assign same reference data set to BU3. And BU2 need access to two payment terms. BU2 need access to these two payment terms. Then create another reference data set. We may name it as RDS2. We assign these two payment terms to that reference data set. Assign net 45 and assign immediate also to reference data set. And which BU need access to these two payment terms? BU2. Now assign RDS2 to BU2. Now BU3 also need access to two payment terms. Now assign BU2 RDS2 to BU2. Now BU2 and 3 can have access to this reference data set. How many payment terms are assigned to this RDS2? 2. That means these two BUs can have access to this 2, but BU1, for BU1 we are assigning RDS1. Okay, RDS1 can have access to only net 45. So this is how you can assign your payment terms to reference data set. That reference data set we need to assign to business unit. So from that BU, you will be able to access to the payment terms which are assigned to that reference data set. So creating the payment terms we call as setup data. We call as setup data. With the reference data set, what we are doing, which BU need access to which setup data we are going to set permissions in the system. With the reference data set, what we are going to do? So which BU need access to which is setup data? Which BU need access to which is setup data that we can manage by using the reference data sets. Any questions here, please? Say for example, you have a 10 payment terms. 10 payment terms, every BU required. Then you can create one reference data set, assign all the payment terms to same reference data set, assign the same reference data set to all the BUs so that all BUs can have access to all the payment terms. Without reference data set, you cannot have access to any payment terms from any business unit. Okay, only you can map payment terms to BU with the help of reference data set. If somebody is from EBS background, in EBS, if you create payment term, the payment term is available for all the operating rates. No provisioning. Create 100 payment terms, 100 payment terms you can access from all the operating rates. That's how it works in EBS. But in the Fusion, here is the control. So if you are running the business, you always deal with immediate payment term. You no need to see another payment terms. Just create one reference data set, assign that immediate to that reference data set, assign that reference data set to your BU, which BU need access to only immediate. Otherwise, across the organization, if you have 1,000 payment terms with the different vendors, so you no need to manage all those for your business, each and every business unit. So this is how you can do the filtration. You can do the setup data filtration by using the reference data set concept. So any questions here, please? If no questions, we'll see how to create the reference data set, how to create the payment terms, how to assign the payment term to reference data set, finally, how to assign the reference data set to business unit. Any questions to understand this point, please?
Hi, hi, Lakshman. Good morning.
Yeah, please.
Hello. Yeah, regarding the payables options, so automatically these values or code combinations already automatically.
Where is the payables option?
Yeah, payables and payables options, right?
Where
options
is
for payables. Common options for payables.
Oh yeah, common options. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, common options for payables. There is automatically the code combination is generated, right? Okay, so it is only one company code has been assigned for that BU. You mean?
Yes, correct.
So automatically, what is there? One company it is default, it is taken, or else if it is multiple, it is there. It has we have to manually has to
Multiple
give.
business units you have to create and you have to manually set all those. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Any questions on reference data set, please?
Lakshman sir, from the diagram, I just have some confusion. Net 45, you're assigning to RDS1 and RDS2 also.
Yes, yes, that is true. You can assign because those
Okay.
different BUs required the access. You can assign one payment term, you can assign to multiple reference data sets. One reference data set you can assign to multiple BUs.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Fine. Now we'll see.
Sir, one question on common options.
Yeah.
There was two or more accounts, mandatory accounts, realized gain distribution and realized loss. They were mandatory. So, I mean, what is the meaning of that?
No, before that, we have to understand the other accounts meaning also, right? That will come to know when we record the transactions. When you record the
Okay.
foreign currency transactions, we'll come to know. Yeah. Don't
Okay.
worry about that. Don't worry about those accounts.
Mhm.
Once we start working on the now I can explain. Without recording the transaction, if I explain, it doesn't make sense, right? So
Okay, sure. Yeah.
how to set the common options? If you load one BU, system can default. Otherwise, we have to select. So once we start working on the system will start using liability account, prepayment account, other accounts, right? There we will discuss. We'll go back and we'll discuss, or else by standing a transaction.
Okay.
We will discuss. See here, system is taking the liability account from where it is taking. It's taking from the common options. That's how we'll discuss. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just only try to understand, we have to complete the common options. There are certain accounts. Why we have, we don't know as of now. We'll come to. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So first we are going to create the reference data set. Then we'll create the payment terms. We'll assign the payment terms to reference data set. Finally, reference data set will assign to BU. So say create reference data set. And next step is create payment terms and assign payment terms to reference data set. Then finally assign reference data set to BU. Okay, we are going to perform these tasks. So reality, when you do the implementation, most of the implementation, if you have a 10 BUs, we create 10 reference data sets. At the time of the business unit creation, we selected common. So Oracle is providing two reference data set values. One is common, other one is enterprise. These two values Oracle is providing. Common we used when we created business unit. Also system also used when system created business unit through rapid implementation. Okay, this is how like system is using in case of rapid implementation. And enterprise is one more value. Just they are providing two values and we can create our own values. The most of the implementation, if you have a 10 business units, you create 10 reference data sets. For each business unit, you maintain separate reference data set, or if you want to use common, you can use common also. In some implementations, we use common. Some implementations, we create separate reference data sets. Yeah, let's see how to create the reference data set. Search for reference data sets. Okay, manage reference data sets. Click on go to task icon. Okay, click on go to task icon. Here, click on search. We can see common and enterprise. These two are provided by Oracle. These are the seeded, and remaining all are created for practice purpose. Okay, remaining all are created for practice purpose. So let's create our own reference data set. Click on add. Give the name as ArtIMC set ArtIMC set and save it. Our reference data set is ready. If you are implementing multiple business units, you can create like this. Something your company name is ABC BU1, exact BU name you will be providing. And ABC BU2. So this is how you can create each BU separate reference data set. At the time of BU creation, you can select default set as a specific reference data set. That's how we can do. Okay. I will proceed with this. ArtIMC set we created. Say save and close. Now, the next step is we have to create the payment terms. What is the purpose of payment terms? When you get invoice from the supplier, as per supplier invoice, there will be payment term, whether we have to pay immediately or in 10 days or 15 days, 45 days. So that we have to maintain in the system so that whenever you create invoice against the supplier, so you'll be able to select the same payment term. System will calculate when we have to pay, means due date. And if any discount is applicable, system can calculate the discount. It means payment terms we are going to use to calculate the due dates and discount. Now here is the task, just search for payment terms. Search for the payment terms task. Manage payment terms. Click on manage payment terms. Click on go to task icon. Task name is manage payment terms. Task name is manage payment terms. Click on go to task icon. So by default, Oracle provides few payment terms. In the fresh instance also, you can find few payment terms. Oracle provides very few seeded payment terms. The remaining all we have to create as per the client business requirement. What are the payment terms they mutually agreed with the supplier. So those all payment terms we have to create. If you want to understand which payment terms Oracle is providing, these are the payment terms. This immediate payment term. Okay. So these payment terms also, very few payment terms.
Is there any way to identify?
Here, this. Yeah, based on here you can see. Okay. Net. And you just click on this payment term. 1 second. You select this payment term. The way is you can check who created that payment terms, you can check. That's how you can identify. By seeing names also you can understand. Say net 30. Ideally with the date also you can understand. They provide this 1990 or 50, something like that. Select, go to view, click on about this record. See, created by seeded data from application. It means Oracle provided. Okay, that's how it works. So any payment term you can select, just check and system will display. So few payment terms Oracle provides. If those are okay, you can use it anyway. Always we have to create many payment terms in every implementation. So we'll see how to create the payment term. Just click on create icon. Say we want to create immediate payment term. You can create like this. But here this is a practice instance. If you create immediate already might be exist or it may create some confusion. To keep this name unique for our identification, I'm going to add alt INC as a prefix. Reality, we don't provide any prefix for the payment terms as a company name. Here for testing we are providing, otherwise it should be immediate. Now go to installments. Click on add. Say 100% invoice amount we have to pay in 0 days. 100% invoice amount we have to pay in the 0 days. 100% amount you have to pay in the 0 days. Any discount? We have a first discount, second discount, third discount. So discount is not applicable. If supplier is giving some credit period and supplier may offer the discount, you have to pay in 45 days. If you pay in 10 days, you'll get discount. Anyway, we have to pay immediately. No discount is applicable. Okay. While we are paying, no discount. Maybe supplier may discount and supplier may give the invoice. That's a different story. Since immediate payment terms, no discount is applicable. Now just click on save. So we given the name and we given the installment, only one installment. At a time you have to pay total invoice amount. Now many days? 0 days. Immediately we have to pay total invoice amount, whatever we get from the supplier. Now,
What about that from date? Is it fine? We can select old date also.
any date is fine. Any date is fine. See, if you use this from date from the first, if you are going to create invoice with some back date and all, it would be available. Otherwise, it would be available from today. Okay, just you can pick a past date, nothing wrong. Done. Now, so this payment term we have to assign to our reference data set, right? Create payment term, assign payment term to reference data set. It's a very simple task. If you scroll little down, here is the set assignment. Set means reference data set. Set assignment. The payment term we are going to assign to our reference data set. Click on add row and select our reference data set name. Click on drop down. Okay, select our reference data set. Our reference data set name is Alt INC. Instance, there is some issue.
No, you created with ART.
ART?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ART.
But anyway, that is also not there. It is not showing anything. Up to AI only it is showing. There is some issue in this instance. No worries, we'll create again. Okay, we created payment term and that we have to assign to reference data set. Go to reference data sets again. In this instance, it is showing very limited data because too much of definitions are there. No worries, we'll just create. I'm just keeping prefix as a Alt INC. Done. Now go to payment terms. Manage payment terms. Click on go to task icon. Find our payment term. Just open. This is the payment term we created just now. Alt INC immediate. Installment only 100% in 0 days. Now click on add. We are going to assign the payment term to reference data set. Okay. So here is our reference data set. We given 3 additional A's as a prefix, then Alt INC. Save and close. This is how you can create multiple payment terms. You can assign to our reference data set. Let's create few more payment terms. Alt I and C, net 45.
Actually, is there any option to load bulk data?
No, you have to do in this way. 100%. In 45 days, we have to pay. In 45 days. And since we have a 45 days time, supplier may offer the discount also. Say supplier is saying 10% discount if you pay in 5 days instead of 45 days. First discount. Second discount is 8% discount supplier is ready to offer if you can pay in 10 days instead of 45 days. Third discount is 5% if you can pay at least in 15 days. So this is how you can set the discount terms. Okay, 10% discount if you pay in 5 days instead of 45 days. 8% discount if you can pay in 10 days instead of 45. 5% at least if you pay in 15 days. So this is how you can set the discount terms. Now assign this payment term to our reference data set.
Third discount is wrong here, Lakshmi. The days are 15.
Okay, days of month. Okay. Yeah, I entered in the wrong field. Yes. 15. Select our reference data set. So reference data set is Alt INC.
Lakshman, one question.
Yeah.
Now, should that name should not indicate as a net 45? It should include that percentage of discount also in the payment term, right? So that
Yeah,
when you
yes. You can include that also. Primarily, we are creating for 45. That is the reason just we give a name as 45. If you want to include that. Yeah. Save and close. Now we'll create one more payment term. I'll say this. Alt INC. We are going to create with the 2 installments. Okay, 50, 50. 2 installments. 50%, you have to pay in the 2 installments. Click on add. So 50% invoice amount you have to pay in 10 days. Another installment is 50% in 20 days. For these 2 installments also, if you want to set the discount, you can set. Assign this to our reference data set. And save it. See the naming conventions all you can write more detail level, how really required, how they want to understand. They will give all the naming conventions. They may give 40, they may give as a net 45, or else by including the discounts they can give if they are focusing on discount and all. We'll get a complete list of payment terms from the client. Those we have to create. That's all. So this is how you can create multiple payment terms. Okay, you can create multiple payment terms. We created payment terms and we assigned to reference data set. Now assign the reference data set to our business unit. Now we'll go to our business unit first. Go to business unit. Manage business unit. And click on go to task icon. Find our BU. Click on BU name. Just click on the BU name. Now here is the default set. We given common at the time of creation or a system process. So a system created. Now here you cannot change. What we discussed? Assign payment terms to reference data set and assign reference data set to business unit. Now you cannot assign reference data set to our BU whatever you created. Yes, The BU definition level you cannot override, but there is another option to override. We'll see that. Okay, BU level, once you select reference data set or one system creates business unit through rapid implementation, whatever system is selecting as common, you cannot override. Where you can override, we'll see. So duplicate this tab. Go to our implementation project. Go to task list, manage implementation projects. Open the project. Now we want to assign reference data set to our business unit. To do that, search for the task called as business unit. Just search as a business unit set assignments. This is a task we have to use. Manage business unit set assignment. Hope you are taking all the points. Manage business unit set assignment. Manage business unit set assignment. Now click on manage business unit set assignment task and click on go to task icon. System will ask to select our business unit and it will take us to our BU specific business unit set assignments page. So click on go to task icon. Pick the value as a select and add. Click on apply and go to task. Here find our business unit. Please go on mute. Now, select business unit record. Select business unit record. Click on save and close. Click on save and close. I'll repeat this once again. The task name is, okay, the task name is manage business unit set assignment. Click on go to task icon. Select business unit. You select the business unit, select the value as a select and add. Click on apply and go to task. And BU name is Alt INC. Find your BU and select business unit record. Now click on save and close. Click on save and close. For our business unit, which reference data set is map common. Here is our business unit. For this business unit level, the reference data set concept is applicable for how many concepts? This is all you can see here. This is a complete list. For all these concepts, reference data set is applicable. We discussed about payment terms like that. So these are the concepts where this business reference data set concept is applicable. This is for all applications, not only for payables, receivables, projects. Okay. So different applications. Now, so we cannot change the reference data set here, but here you can override. If you want to change for all these, you can change. You can select our reference data set. So instead of selecting our reference data set, okay. So instead of selecting our reference data set, for everything, we will go and select our reference data set only for payment terms. Here we have a reference data object. Okay, here we have a reference data object. So look for object called as payment terms. This list, look for payables payment terms. Here is the payables payment terms. So system is defaulting common for payment terms also from our BU level. BU level we given, same it is defaulting for everything which are aligned with that BU. Now change it. Yes, change it. We are assigning our reference data set to our BU level for only payment terms. For only payment terms, we are assigning. Save it. Now, how many payment terms are assigned to this? How many payment terms are assigned to this reference data set? How
Two.
many payment terms are assigned?
3.
3 payment terms are assigned. It means from this business unit, if you are going to record any transactions or if you are doing any setups, only those 3 payment terms would be available. Now tell me, if I select common reference data set here, how many payment terms we can access from this business unit?
All which are created by Oracle.
Except our 3.
Any other answer? Answer is simple.
Common means it is
No,
assigned
don't
to
look at the name. Don't look at the name. Don't understand with the name. Just as a point, you try to understand. See, we assigned 3 payment term to our reference data set. Our reference data set we assigned to BU. That BU can have access to 3 payment terms. That is the point we have to understand. Now, my question is, if I assign common reference data set to our business unit for payment terms, this BU can have access to how many payment terms? What is your answer?
all
All
instance
three.
level all it will access.
You cannot say all. How can you say
Which
all?
are not assigned to any common, reference data set.
Not like that, not like that. Simple. How many payment terms are assigned to common reference data set? Those only you can access. Common means not by default you will get everything. No, no, no. It's assignment only. How many payment terms are assigned to common reference data set? Those payment terms only can be accessed by this business unit. That's what we discussed in our reference data set, right? We assigned 3 that we are assigning to BU. BU can have access to 3. Now we are selecting common. Common means how many payment terms are already assigned to common, those only can be accessed by this BU. It's always how many are assigned. That is the point we have to understand.
Yeah, got it.
Yep, yep. Select our reference data set and save. So this is how, for which set of data you want to give access to this business unit. Accordingly, you can create the reference data sets and you can map at relevant reference data objects. For payables, very much limited reference data sets. Okay, reference objects, reference data objects, receivables and other applications, we have many. We'll understand. We'll see just will come across when we deal with it. We'll now take the case of payables.
Lakshman, this reference data object. Okay, so each module has this one object.
Yeah,
Could you
module
elaborate?
wise. Module wise. Say this is for payables. If you scroll little down here, it is for pricing application. Okay, this is for project accounting, PPM, costing, billing. This is also project accounting, project rates. These all are related to receivables. See, these are all related to receivables. Okay, these are for sales related applications. So
Okay,
what are the
okay.
applications are mapped at BU level? As per enterprise structure, we discussed, right? Few applications are mapped at BU level. For those all applications, we can use this reference data set concept.
Lakshman,
Yeah.
at business unit level, how come by default how it has been selected common? Because we use rapid implementation, right? We are never referred.
They program like that. They program.
Okay.
Any BU is going to be created through rapid implementation. Source is rapid implementation. System should be common. That's how they set a rule.
Okay.
If you are loading through rapid implementation, it will be common only. If you are creating through manual process, you can select your BU.
But
Your
at
reference data set.
template level, nothing is, we cannot create anything, right?
You tell me, can we create or not? Already we have seen that. You don't have option, right? You don't have any option. That
Yeah,
means-
yeah.
Fine.
Lakshman,
Yeah.
what payment terms are assigned to common data set default set?
Any
Is there a
payment
way?
term, just see what in the fresh instance, few payment terms Oracle creates and they'll assign. Later, anyone can create and anyone assign any payment term to common if they want to use the common to access the payment terms.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There is no fixed rule for it. Okay, it's all about just we have to understand how it works. Payment terms we assign to reference data set. If you assign reference data set to BU, how many payment terms are assigned to that reference data set? Those only the BU can access. It could be any reference data set. It may be common, it may be enterprise, it may be XYZ. Doesn't matter for system. It will look at what is the reference data set, how many payment terms are assigned. Accordingly, it will act. Okay, done. Now again, we'll go back to payment terms. Manage payment terms. Click on go to task icon. And here look for one payment term called as immediate. What Oracle is doing is in every instance, they are setting immediate as a default. If you don't assign immediate payment term to your reference data set, so when you are doing setups, the setup will fail. You may use, may not use, but if you are creating your own reference data set, assign immediate payment term to your reference data set. Otherwise, when you do the payable setups, it will throw error message. So look for immediate, which is provided by Oracle. Would be just plain immediate, yes. Immediate. Just click on immediate payment term. Sorry, you assign this immediate payment term to our reference data set. So assign immediate, okay? Because they set this as a default. Every time system will look for this immediate. If you don't want to use, don't use it, no issues, but assign it. System provider. Done. So this is all about payment terms as well as reference data set. Any questions or any clarity you need, please let me know. We can discuss about reference data set and payment terms.
Yeah.
Lakshman,
Please.
so we have to assign the immediate payment terms to the
Our custom reference data set.
Acha, okay. So to all of them.
All of them means one only we create, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you create, do that, ensure. See, you created reference data set, you have a payment terms and all. Okay. So along with that, whatever Oracle is providing, assign immediate. That's all. That is additional task.
Oh, okay. So to whatever reference data we create, we have to assign immediate, which is needed by Oracle.
Only one. See, Oracle may
Only.
provide 20 payment terms. If you want to use those 20 payment terms, assign 20 to your reference data set. No, you don't want to use those what Oracle is providing. You want to create your own because those are not matching as per your requirement. Create all. Along with that, assign one payment term which Oracle is providing, that is
Immediate.
immediate. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any
Not
other
providing-
questions, please?
If not providing is creating an issue. That's what you're trying
Yes,
to
yes. When we are doing the setups, it will throw error message. So default immediate, the default payment term is you don't have access to default payment term. That's how it will throw the message.
Lakshman, common like new payment terms which custom payment terms created in the application, we can assign to common reference data set.
Any
right?
reference data set.
Reference
term,
data set
whatever
is
you
not
create
mandatory.
or whatever Oracle is providing, it could be anything. You created payment term or Oracle created payment term. Doesn't matter. Any payment term can be assigned to any reference data set.
Okay. Because the reference data set is not mandatory, right? Always.
Reference data set is mandatory.
Okay.
See,
But
we have
common
seen, right?
is coming. Yeah,
We
common is
have,
defaulted created.
yeah, system. When you load data through rapid implementation, system will pick common. That's how they program. Enterprise generally we don't use. There is no specific purpose, just they given two values. So
Okay.
that's how.
Without rapid implementation, if we do the setups, there will be no reference data set called common. We have to create custom reference data set.
No, we have to select common would be there. Common
Okay.
is there in the system. Even we selected, right? We selected when we
Yeah.
created business unit, even we selected common only.
Okay. Yeah, I got it, Lakshman. Last time when we create custom
Yes,
manually
we
the BU,
selected
we
common.
select.
Now say you may have your business units you are creating. You created something ABC, right?
Yeah.
ABC, BU1 and all that you can select here.
Okay. Common will be given by Oracle by standard so that if you
Common
want
and
to.
enterprise, both Oracle will
Oh,
be.
okay.
This is how
Common is
India
also
can be
one of
used.
the RDS, right, Lakshman?
Sorry?
Common is also called as RDS, I mean reference data set.
One of the value.
Yeah.
RDS is the concept within the RDS. Common and enterprise, two values Oracle is providing. We can
Yep.
create our own reference data set values.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. RDS is the concept name. Common and enterprise or whatever we create, those are the values.
Sir, we can give only one reference data set to one BU, right?
Exactly. For one reference data object. Okay. Only one. Business unit set assignments. For one business unit, you can assign multiple reference data sets. Okay, for each and every reference data object, like say for each and everything, we use the payment term, one reference data set for other different concepts, different. But for
Okay.
one
But for
reference
one
data
concept.
object, okay, one reference data object, only one.
Okay.
See, for payment terms, only one, no other.
Okay. So
Pricing
if you
rule,
want
I
to
may
use
assign
something,
some XYZ. Pricing rule, I may assign XYZ. So BU level, multiple you are going to have. See, already we have two, common and alt INC, right?
alt INC, right?
You can replace this all with different. However, we created alt INC in the same way. Those relevant setups you can assign to those reference data sets you can assign. So BU creation time only one reference data set. After creating the BU, reference data object wise, you can maintain the reference data sets, and for each object only one reference data.
One reference data set. And whatever we'll be selecting as in the BU, that would be appearing here. Like we selected
that will
common.
be
That is the reason
defaulted
we
for
are.
all the objects. Okay,
That would be
BU
defaulted
level,
for
what you select, that will be defaulted for all the reference data
objects.
objects.
Okay.
For all it will default. If you are okay with that, okay, or else you can override as per your requirement.
Okay. Yeah.
So shall we call this system common and enterprise are called system generated RDS?
Yes, seeded we call. Okay, common and enterprise, these two values are seeded values.
Where I can see the complete definition comes in common. What are the having this actually?
Sorry?
Where I can view all the setup of this information common RDS?
We have seen, right? We create the reference data set there, we have seen, right? Click on search. Yeah. Can you respond?
Yeah. I got it.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Like, still you want to understand something else. This is what you are looking for. I'm trying to get a confirmation from you. Yeah. Here. Yeah. That's fine.
Sir, is there
Other
any
questions,
practical
please.
use of enterprise?
Sorry?
Is there any practically, do we need to assign enterprise anywhere?
No. See, just two values they are giving. One value they are using in the automation of rapid implementation. Other one they are not using. Generally, when we are working on the fixed assets, this will be defaulted as per the rule. You can override.
Oh, okay.
Only it will
Lakshman,
default in the fixed assets. Yeah.
Okay.
if you rename the reference data set common data set, right, which is given by Oracle by
Cannot.
default, we cannot. Okay.
Yeah, we cannot. Cannot. See. There will be set code and set name. We
Okay.
cannot override. We cannot change. Set code is
Okay.
free.
The name we can reset, but code we
But
cannot reset.
name, what is this? The system will work with this code only. Name
Huh.
you display name you
Yeah.
can change, but when you're searching also, it will display as a common only. You may see
Okay.
a
The reason why I
explain.
ask, is basically if you apply the patch, right, it will override, right? That's where I asked this question.
That is the reason. This is what it will look for. The patches and all, it will work based on this one.
Okay.
This is for our
Right.
display purpose. Just display. This also will
Yeah.
be displayed. That is the reason Oracle will display set code and set name. Both they display.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions, please? Fine. Just go through like when we practice and all. If you have any questions, we can discuss later also. No worries. So that's all about reference data set and payment terms. Yes, one don't mind. If I ask any questions, you ask if you have. If you don't ask, if you remember, wait for some time. When I'm explaining, please, you don't pop up with the questions. I'll take all your questions, but let's follow some basic format. Fine. Now, after completing the common options and setting up reference data sets and payment terms, so we have to configure or we have to set up invoice options and payment options. Set up invoice options and set up payment options. Set up invoice options and payment options. So these options also we set at BU level only. For each BU we have to set. If you have a 10 BUs, for 10 BUs we have to set invoice options. For 10 BUs we have to set the payment options. For 10 BUs we have to set the common options. Okay, these are BU specific. So what is the purpose of invoice options? Within the invoice options, you can set what process we are going to follow when you create the invoices. Okay. What are the different business cases we are going to implement with this invoice process? Means when you create invoice, interest need to be calculated or not. When you create invoice, approvals are required or not. These are all like you can define the process of invoice by using the invoice options. Okay, with invoice options, you can define the process within your business unit, how you are going to record the invoices. So those are all the rules you can set. In the same way, payment options also. When you are processing the payments by following which rules or conditions, you are going to process the payments within the business unit. Okay, within the business unit. The common options, invoice options, payment options is all we are setting at BU level. In the common options, primarily we provide the default accounts, which are required when you create the invoices. And in the invoice options and payment options, we will set certain rules, or you can call as controls. By using invoice and payment options, we will set certain rules or controls, how that invoices can be created in that BU, how payments can be processed within the business unit. We'll go and have a look. Go to invoice options. Search for invoice options. So manage invoice options. Here we have invoice options under payment options. First we'll go to invoice options. Click on go to task icon. Select and say apply and go to task. We are going to select our BU to set invoice options. Click on apply and go to task. Find our BU. Select our business unit. Record. Select business unit record. Don't click on BU name. Select business unit record. And click on save and close. Click on save and close. Click on save and close. Now you can see the invoice options are for this business unit. So there are multiple checkboxes you see here. Invoice entry related, matching related, discount related, prepayment related, approval related, interest related. Many sections and checkboxes are there. We will play with these when we start working on the payables application. Now nothing we are going to set. Nothing we are going to set. So here there is one field called as payment terms. What payment terms system is taking immediate? Whenever you set invoice options for any BU, system will look for immediate payment term. If it is not there, it will fail this setup. It will throw the error message later also. The default immediate payment term is not, you don't have access. That's how it will throw an error message when you create invoices or further process also. So you tell me how many payment terms this BU can access. How many payment terms this BU can access now?
4.
4 payment terms, right? 3 we created and assigned. 1 is Oracle provided we assigned. The same you can see here. Click on drop down, only 4. This BU is able to access to only those 4 payment terms. Even when you create invoice also, these 4 payment terms only will be visible from this business unit. Now here we are not setting anything. Okay, just have a look. No need to set. When we start working on the payables, depending on the concept what we are implementing, we can come back here and we can set. Okay, if you are creating the prepayment invoice, will come and will set. If you are creating approvals, if you are setting approvals, will come here and will set. If you are just implementing interest invoice concept, will come to invoice options and will set. Now nothing we are setting, nothing is mandatory as of now. So just make a note, we set invoice options for every BU, means invoice options at BU level. Here you can check something, the payment terms based on the reference data set which is assigned to this BU level for the reference data object called as payables payment terms. Accordingly, we are able to access to the payment terms. That's all. Okay. So within this business unit, you want to create invoices and process the payments in which currency that you can set as a default. So what are the currency, invoice currency and payment currency you are giving? So whenever you create invoice within this business unit, system will take the invoice currency as USD, payment currency as USD. That's it. If you don't set here, you can set supplier level. Even if you set here supplier level, whatever you set, that only system will take. But just notice this point. In invoice options level, you can set invoice currency and payment currency. This currency only system will take at the time of invoice creation. If you provide another currency at supplier level, that currency only it will take. It won't take from invoice options. First priority is supplier level, which currency is there, that currency it will take. If you don't provide any currency at supplier level, invoice creation time, it will take the currency information from here. Or else you can change it and you create. We'll see that. Just notice this point. Save and close. Okay. We are not setting anything, just we are reviewing the information. Now go to payment options. Click on go to task icon. So here we have a payment related controls. Okay, allow payment date before system date, etc., etc. We will see when we deal with the relevant topics. So we'll come back to this payment options and we'll understand how to set, how it will impact. Now just say save and close. So we are not setting anything in the invoice options and the payment option, just we review, that's all. Okay, how those are available, what is there inside, just we reviewed very high level. Just there are certain controls, certain check boxes. Based on that, you can drive the invoice creation process and payment creation process within that business unit. And another point is invoice options and payment options we are setting at business unit level. This is another point we have to understand. Yep. It's done. Yeah, just take those points, no discussion here. Once we start working, you'll understand. If you have any questions, we'll discuss. Okay, invoice options and payment options, we are not setting anything, just we review. Those two works at BU level. Now, another point. So when you create invoice, okay, when you create invoice, so you may enter 10,000. The 10,000 should belongs to which accounts? Those you can enter. So and so expense account, it should go 9,000. Enter invoice amount is 10,000. 9,000, so and so expense account, so say maybe tax is 1,000. So this is how we'll enter the invoice. When you enter the invoice, within the invoice, the total invoice amount is belongs to which accounts you have to specify. For so and so expense account 9,000, some tax 1,000, or else you purchase so and so product cost is so and so amount, and freight transportation is certain amount, tax is so and so amount, and handling charges so and so amount. So this is how anytime you enter the invoice, that amount is belongs to which accounts we have to provide in the system. Okay, when you create invoice, the invoice amount is belongs to which accounts we have to provide in the system. Okay, they have to provide in the system. Now, if you want to enter the account and amount when you create invoice, you can enter, or else this can be automated. Okay, this can be automated. How you can automate? For example, you can take expense account and do tax account. You can say 90% invoice amount should goes to expense account. 10% amount system should take into tax account. This is how you can create a simple rule. Whenever you create invoice, 90% amount should goes to expense account, 10% should goes to tax account. This is how you can create the rule. For that rule, you can give the name, maybe expense distribution. Expense distribution. If you are creating any invoice for expense related, this rule is applicable. Or else you can create another rule. Say you are purchasing computers. So computers, whenever you purchase the computers, so 95% amount should goes to computers. Tax, say 3%, and freight, the transportation charges 2%. If it is fixed all the time, this is how you can create this name. You can give as computers distribution. So when you create invoice, this is how you can enter how much amount for which account you can enter. This we call as manual distribution. Instead of entering every time, this is how you can create the distribution rules. This is, if you create rule like this we call as distribution set. This is also distribution set. This is a computer's distribution set. So this you are very sure. Whenever you purchase the computers, these are the accounts we have to use. This is the percentage. But when you spend the expense, you are not very sure about how much percentage should goes to expense or how much tax, etc. Or else if not computers expense, you take it as a furniture. Okay, furniture account. So when you purchase the furniture, sometimes the allocation could be different. You don't know how much. So then you can enter 0. So when you create invoice, if you select this distribution set, it will take these two accounts and you have to enter the amount. At least system will take accounts, you can enter the amounts. When you create an invoice, if you use this distribution set, system will take account, 3 accounts it will take, this 10,000 it will distribute across these 3 accounts by following the percentage. So this is how, by using the distribution sets, you can automate the invoice distribution across these various accounts. Accounts by using the percentage, you can distribute. If no percentage, at least system will take the accounts, the percentage you can enter, amounts you can enter. So when you create any invoice, you have to provide the invoice distribution. Invoice amount belongs to which account, how much. If you want to enter through manual process, enter, or else you can use the distribution set. By using the distribution set, you can automate the invoice amount to be distributed across these accounts. If you create the distribution set with account and percentage, that we call as full distribution set, full, complete information you have. If you create the distribution set with only account without any percentage, that we call as skeleton. Okay, if you create the distribution set with the account and percentage, that is a full distribution set. If you create the distribution set only with account without percentage, you are not giving percentage, you are putting 0 since percentage is mandatory as per system. So if you use this distribution set, system will take account amount you have to enter. If you take this distribution set, account and percentage means based on percentage it will take amount. So when you create invoice, first point is when you create invoice, we have to provide the invoice distribution. You want to provide through manual process or automatic, you can take decision. If you want to provide through manual process, enter account and enter amount. Enter account and enter amount. If you want to use the distribution set, which distribution set you want to use, full or skeleton? If you use full, automatically system will take these 2 accounts. You don't need to enter within invoice, but you have to enter the amount since percentage is not given. If you use the full distribution set at the time of invoice creation, okay, we have system will take accounts and the percentage automatic. This is what we have to understand. Okay, this we'll see in the tomorrow session. Tomorrow session, we'll create the distribution set and we'll proceed and we'll create complete few more payables related basic setups. Okay, payables basic setups will complete tomorrow. We are done for today. If you have any questions, you please stay back. We'll discuss. No questions, we'll connect tomorrow same time.